is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. This is the Expedition of the Damned. I will be your GM, your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick. We're joined by not the full crew, unfortunately, since one of them won the aforementioned viewer decision from last time, but they couldn't make it, so that's out the window. I'm sorry, everyone. We'll have to see if we can make it up later or something. But let's do some brief introductions. Let's start off with old Pierce Galactic.
Oh, yeah. It's me. What's going on, everybody? Pierce Galactic. My favorite character. I'll be playing once again Wolfram Can't talk. I'm so excited here to play. Be playing Wolfram Kistler again. After a fantastic journey through the desert, underground, making new friends, helping out orcs, meeting new and exciting gray seers, all sorts of interesting stuff. And now I believe we're about to take another journey way out into the desert, perhaps far out to sea, but anything we can do to stay away from certain people in the city of Chic that, of course, I don't want to ever see again, ever.
That's fair. How about 209? You're next.
What's going on, everybody? I play Henry Berthold, the bumbling, stumbling knight. My only ask by any gods is that I pass one roll tonight, because I failed every single roll in the last session.
I would also pray for that as well.
I was looking at the dice rolls at the end of the session.
That's bad. How about Lucien?
That's why we spent 3 resilience points.
Yeah, exactly. Nate.
Over 1, Nate here, playing Lucien Levesque, human duelist, wielding rapier, and glad to have a bit of a respite from the toils and tribulations of the Goblin Caves.
Sure.
Excited to see what we decide to do next.
Exactly. And last but not least for the night, Jumbo Smith.
Hello, everyone. I am Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing Luther Steinhauer this evening. He is a noble-born man from Altdorf, the future capital. No, should be, capital right now. It's filthy gnomes. They think they run this empire. They are wrong. The heart of the empire is Altdorf. So, they are. He is a pyromancer. yes, he's a pyromancer who is not afraid of his mistress whatsoever, and is ready to get along with his journey.
Not an ounce of fear in the mighty. No, not even a little bit.
Of course,
nothing. Stalwart man. That is Luther.
Yeah, also quite attractive.
He is indeed attractive.
I do also want to let the fans remember, we still have Cragfist, or Cragbender, apologies.
Cragbender.
Cragbender is still with us.
In the baby carrier? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
He's in Nog's couch, and his ankles are shattered. He looks like C-3PO on the back of Chewbacca.
Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
No, he does not. How dare you? He does
Just
not
remember,
look like C-3PO.
He's there.
Oh, God.
Like so.
Well, with that, last we left off, we are opening on the crew having survived their trip to retrieve the missing Knight Commander Dieter Hellwig of the Nice Panther, and ultimately a valuable resource for the expedition, and also the de facto leader of men that Henry Berthold has pledged allegiance to. Whom was captured by the Night Goblin tribe, the Sansneakas, that rule the section of the Atlan Mountains between Le Chic and the next nearby town, raiding the nearby caravan routes through various devious means and some more specific. After infiltrating the Gabo tunnels, wreaking havoc, discovering a lost Dowie prospector's mine with some interesting goodies that you all retrieved, and instigating a battle between the Gabos and the local Skaven, led by a infamous now Grey Seer. The crew managed to rescue the commander and barely escape, with possibly acceptable losses to the remainder knights that they also managed to liberate from their pens. You were then brought back to the city of Chic in the company of Otto Stempler, the uncle of our ever lovable knight now, Henry, whom managed to wrangle a search party after he finished whatever deeds he needed to finish in the city, looking for his long-lost nephew, Henry, that went out in his stead, looking for the Knight Commander. Thus far, you have been in his company, and you have been escorted in a small wagon train caravan with guard, most of them being the knights and squires that had made it to Lashik previously, that had been under Otto's command up until now. Now all of them being under Commander Helwig's command. However, so if you guys have any exhaustion or hit points missing, you can refill that up. That's good to go. But at the end of the session, you guys had made it to the city gates. Now, it's going to be probably late afternoon, almost night, when you arrive. And I did have a bit of it's not so much a devil's bargain as it is a tasty treat dangled in front of the expedition here, being that you guys were given the option to do several different tasks for the expedition. However, you have garnered enough prestige and experience thus far that if you so choose, you guys could take an extended rest. You could regain a point of resilience and a fate point, and time will progress. However, you will lose the option of completing the other tasks that were asked of you if you do this. You're also running the risk of possibly getting horribly injured and maimed, should you continue on this as well. But that is up to you. So, as we are rolling into town, your main concern was Nog, because he was pretty banged up. But what do you know? He's not here today. So, maybe that will help you make your decision. I don't know. But you have made it to the city gates. You're currently being let in after Otto goes and talks to the guardsman. The captain of the guard at the gate that you've gone through before. It's the same man that gave you a hard time on the way in, wanting a bribe. And you watch as Otto actually does pass him a small pouch containing something, more than likely gold of some kind, and you guys are allowed to pass into the city. As you move in to even in the late afternoon, almost night, the quite busy streets of the city of Corsairs, there is music playing, smells assaulting your senses that you may have missed, perhaps not so much as well as the foul scent of human debris and other fluids may also be assaulting the senses as well, as there's no active sewers in Lashik. However, the city is your oyster. You guys are free to do as you wish. The Knight Commander, as he moves in, he has a conversation with Otto, and he, Henry, you would be part of this conversation too. So Henry, you are asked to come up since you've recently been knighted, so you are in a position of somewhat leadership at this point. You and Otto are technically on the same tier. I mean, he's a little bit. I mean, he's a senior knight, but still, you are both knights at this point.
I'm gonna actually.
Yes, Wolfram.
I'm probably walking a little behind Luther. I'm gonna actually kind of hook on his sleeve a little bit and lean in. And my lord, I believe you still had an assignment from your mistress that you needed to complete. Surely we should not sit down and take festivities at this time when I've seen your dedication to her service. Is this not a true fact?
As he pulls on Luther's coat or shirt, probably more of a shirt. Pulls on his tattered coal boy clothes. Calls him Lord.
Clean my fingertips here.
And he describes the assignment given to him by his mistress. He sees Luther turn around, and as he gazes upon Luther, he sees his face paler than normal, sweat pouring from his brow. Yes, I haven't thought of completing that assignment. I'm not worried about it one bit. Surely my mistress will be forgiving after we've saved so many of these fine nights. 5 nights should surely bolster our expedition, and she will not beat me mercilessly in front of you all. Maybe we should investigate this individual named the Shroud. I was told that he might have some magical artifacts that could be useful for my mistress. That would be good. But yeah,
my northern blood runs so cold and thin, and my face goes, oh, so pale. Perhaps let us ask Sir Henry and Lucian. Maybe they have to weigh in on this matter.
Henry, as this conversation has happened, you've been brought into a bit of a private meeting between the knights and their commander. The squires and everyone else are kind of just off to the side. The rest of your crew is also over there as well. As you are pulled to the side, Otto begins to explain, Commander, we have taken up residence at the with a gentleman of the Empire, an ally. He is above the seawall in the upper section of the city. Currently, he is housing the rest of the heads of the expedition, and a number of our knights are staying there. The individual in question is named Roland Hoff. Appears to be a man of great dignity and prestige. The commander, then, that is all well and good, but I make the decisions now. We don't need to stay above there. I've got a better idea. If you must, Otto, perhaps just to save face, you stay above me and we'll get cleaned up. And we had a lead on the way here, actually. A gentleman, he runs these houses for charity. Needless to say, we would be staying there and perhaps maybe even recruiting a few new members, as we've lost quite a significant amount of our company. As he looks around, and Otto begins to, but my lord, I will hear no disputes. Take Henry, do as you will. Next time the expedition has a formal meeting, come fetch me at the nearest almshouse. They'll know how to find me. Very, very well, my lord. He rounds up the rest of the knights that had fallen into capture with him, as well as a number of the squires. Several of the other knights that were already here in the city look somewhat confused. They are unsure where they should go. Otto looks baffled. He looks towards Henry. What happened? He seemed fine on the trip back, but did something quite desperate happen to the commander?
Henry, looking tired, bags under his eyes, possibly from a lack of sleep. I don't know. What does he mean by charity houses?
Assuming he's talking of the almshouses. Surely you've seen them. They feed the poor around here. Every so many blocks you can find some all over the city. They're not about in the upper section where we stay, but down here below the seawall there are plenty.
Has he been a pious man before?
Not this before. He's always had a bit of faith, but he's never shown anything so... I don't know how to explain this. It's very unusual behavior.
Ever since we rescued him, I haven't been getting much sleep at night. Having strange dreams. I could just be tired from this quest.
Exactly, young Henry. Just have a good sleep. Would you like to come back to the estate with me?
Let me check in with my other, dare I say, friends that I came out here with.
Don't be ashamed to call them friends, Henry. We all have to associate with those of lesser stature than ourselves to get things done.
True, they did prove themselves quite worthy, especially the Bretonian.
He does have the air of nobility about him.
Yes, you can head back to the house. I know my way there. I'll check back in, see what they want to do, and go from there.
Very well. He puts a hand on your shoulder. You did good, boy. You did good. I'm very proud of you.
As I look back at him, thank you, Uncle.
All right. I'll venture back to the keep. I'll inform the various individuals that we have become successful in our mission, and that they are to expect the Knight Commander upon their next meeting.
If you do see Luther's mistress, make sure you let her know that he fought valiantly.
Magister Reyna, she is a fiery one, to say the least.
Yes.
I will deliver the good news that her pupil has returned.
Yes, she'll be glad to hear it.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Good luck, Henry. That is your new horse, and you are riding a war horse that has been barded. It has armor.
Big boy.
The barded war horse. You feel free to name it as you please.
I will.
Jumbo, I've got a question for you, actually. Give me a second.
Yes.
I leveled up while we were in the desert.
Yes.
For me to get my trappings, is that something we're basically, I'm just going to wait till we do endeavors?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I also have a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Luther.
My question is this. This is more of a lore question. So if I don't know how it works for Knights Panthers, but are they more of like a Knights Templar? Like they don't really get like estates or anything like that when they're knighted? Or do they actually get like parcels of land and serfs and such?
Most of the knights of the Empire are usually lesser nobility.
Okay.
Already, and so it's almost like a badge of honor to serve. There are almost none of them are regular common folk, so there's usually not much to give. However, some of the large organizations, Nice Panthers is a quite old one as well, do have holdings, and should you advance into enough rank, there are various large estates that you could be in charge of, be gifted as well. Not so much as at Henry's level, but if he were to advance high enough within the organization, oh yes.
Thank you.
At this point in time, a cloaked figure comes scurrying up. Henry, you're about to break off. You're still. Are you riding your horse, Henry, or are you walking next to it?
I'll be riding it.
Okay. You see a
I've
figure
earned
kind of move, cloak pull tightly over his head, dirty, somewhat red in color robes. He has like a little like wooden rod with like a metal tip at the end of it. He comes hobbling up. He has a bit of a limp as he approaches Luther. Luther, you're back! And the dulcet tones of Oliver Walsh, one of the fellow apprentices of Magister Reyna. Oh, the mistresses. She said that you'd be here.
Oh, gee. Oh.
I know.
She did.
I know. Luther, she's expecting your report. You've been gone for over a week, Luther. She's been taking it out of me. You should see my leg.
Oliver, it doesn't look good.
I fear I might have permanent damage.
Nonsense. He'll walk straight again. Anyway, about the mistress. Is there any way that you could tell her I might be another day or so? I am just returned, and I am hot on another clue that could help the expedition in a great way, and I'm sure she would benefit.
Of course, Luther. I will buy you plenty of time, Luther.
Of course, you will benefit from telling her this good news. Of course, she will be ecstatic to hear this from you.
I'm sure she will.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. You have nothing to deliver, do you, Luther?
That is nonsense, Oliver. How dare you? Look, I'm surrounded by knights, men at arms. Yes.
You're all walking off, though. You appear to have nothing on your person.
Of course, the saddlebags, you fool.
Yes.
How be it from a peasant to understand?
I know. I apologize. I apologize, Luther. I will go. I will buy you so much time, Luther. I must report back to the estate as he slowly begins to turn and quickly scamper away.
Dog, get him. No.
All right.
Let him scamper off. I wouldn't care. I think about it now. And brief Luther thinks, oh, I could defeat you. You're
Slay
nothing
him right now. As the apprentice scampers away, Henry makes his way back. Henry, you see this exchange. From Lucian.
What you'll see that as soon as Oliver scampers away, you'll see Luther running over to the group. She's going to kill me. I need us to find this shroud individual fast. Do you understand, Nog? She'll kill.
Right. Scary lady. Yeah, indeed.
Yes. Nog
hurts quite bad.
Of course.
Probably see a healer.
Yes, that would work. There's that butcher guy. I'm sure he'll take care of you.
Yeah. He did right good by me last time.
Yeah. The rest of you, who is the most degenerate among you? Wolfram? I'm sure you've gambled your savings away here and there.
What are savings?
Exactly. Thank you. You should have to know the underbelly of this city, perhaps. We're looking for a shady individual called the Crowd.
I know where the
No reason, Luther. Wolfram, you just
along the shore at the docks? No, I don't know anybody over there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, have you ever heard of this individual called the Shroud, Wolfram?
No,
No?
not at all. No.
Damn it, Wolfram.
No.
Lucian, please. Any
I don't
word?
believe I've ever heard of Shroud. He's in possession of what is it now?
It's a magical artifact. I don't know. My mistress never told me. She's always very vague in her orders, and she expects me to know what I'm doing. I think she
I
Was
don't
it
know
the
why you
gentleman
choose
we,
to disappoint her so much.
Was it Dogmaster we talked to upon arrival here? What was his name?
Ah,
Not talking about Vizel, are you?
Maybe.
He wasn't the Dogmaster, was he?
Faram Farazula.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Varam Valazula, the
Ram
Dark Master.
Fazula.
Varam Valazula. Of course, the Rose of the Tongue. And,
Or
perhaps
maybe
he will know.
maybe the butcher would also know. He seemed like the sort to consort with such character.
She gave me the option to go to the Temple of the Jinn. I was interested going there, but I tried to
the
talk my
temple?
way in. Yes, they have a temple, and they rejected me. They said I look poor.
Nonsense.
So, as I'm covered in sand and dirt and I assume blood, you know,
Where's that?
you know. Well, smell of goblin. Let's go talk to this Farzula. As quickly as we can.
Oh,
Luther, are you sure this is something you should be going around asking any person about?
I don't know the etiquette here. That's why I expected Wolfram. He's the seediest among us. You know, they'll know the etiquette here. I'm a noble savage, and a real one too. Not like those hillbillies from the north. I'm not meant to ask these type of questions.
I'm a hillbilly from the north. Wait a second.
Wolfram, I wasn't talking about you.
Let us go to the docks. Point me at them, and perhaps I can get you information. But what harm could it be?
no, Nog's side's hurt. Nog needs surgeon now.
You're sure you
And-
talked to the third
And this
person?
one, he pulls the bag around with the mangled dwarf that's
Don't
still
take me
breathing.
down.
And Disson probably needs a doctor as well.
Any more than that?
I could eat him.
No, don't eat him. Do you have any money?
No, I got the coin. Yeah.
Use that coin to get patched up, Nog.
Where the
when you're done,
where-
make sure you head back to the house up on the hill.
he begins walking in a random direction. Puts the bag over his shoulder. You're not sure.
We can walk down to the
I'm-
dock together. It's close to the dock.
I'm gonna run after Nog
Oh,
and kind of
yeah.
grab him by the elbow and this way. No, my friend.
Never
please.
saw him again.
Good. He begins walking back with you. So you're going to escort him to the butcher shop.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been a good companion. I mean, I really want to get him healed up.
The sun is slowly setting. Night is beginning to take the twin, well, not say twin, but the two moons circling the Warhammer world. Morslib and Manslib are both shining brightly. Manslib more so than Morslib, thank God. Regardless, though, as you are making your way through the docks, the sailors that you had been accustomed to knowing here on the docks, different parties beginning to have a bit of a row as the ships coming in, taking into port. The unsavory nature of this section of town that you guys have all been privy to in the past, just refreshingly all comes back.
Do
You
we
see,
pacify any? Do we pacify any seedy brothels?
there is a brothel, but it's not on the docks where this
Okay.
is located. There is a very interesting brothel, not too far from here that we will probably be talking about soon, actually. Regardless, though, as you make it to the butcher's, and you see that there is a large ogre out front wearing a gigantic, heavy black iron gut plate, armor on his shoulders. He has a large helmet that has been made for his giant ogre-sized head, as well as these armor-plated, almost like splint mail greaves along his legs. And you would recognize one of the headbiters, the infamous ogre, not necessarily tribe, but mercenaries that plague the docks of the Chic, that are beholden to the highest coin and in the service of the Pit of Blades, and by proxy, the butcher shop, where most people go to get patched up after taking a row or a bout in the pit itself. The large ogre kind of nods his head at Nog, respectfully, as if they know each other. You're not sure how the hell they know each other. Maybe all ogres know each other. Regardless, though, he takes a nod and says, "Guard back." Nog begins to shuffle out back. There's a large, almost like garage door opening that you guys have seen him go into before. He stumbles inside, and Ivo Peltzer, the owner and somewhat shady past individual, is currently hacking away at a large slab of meat with a massive cleaver. There is blood staining him from like neck down to his knees. He does have like a butcher's bib on, but it doesn't look like it's been well kept, and there's like holes in it, so there's blood all over his person. He's like wiping his brow as he looks up. "Hi. Big guy. Yeah, I remember you. Oh, the rest of you. Wow, you've seen worse days. Oh, come. Oh, what the hell is that?" As Nog pulls the sack with the dwarf in it. All right. Coin? Nog produces a large sack of coin. Well, I'll get to work right away. Any of the rest of you need any patching up? You look to be in decent shape.
Feeling pretty good, surprisingly.
How about you? You look a lot more shinier than you did last time, Henry.
I feel rather fine. It's just our large friend here.
Very well. It looks like this is going to take a while, especially if you want me to work on the dwarf. Nog, wait. As Nog grabs a giant slab of beef and begins to chew on it. Who's on it? Fuck.
We are good for whatever the dwarf should require.
Yes. All right.
And for his service.
This is that guy from the pits. What'd you guys do to him? He looks real bad.
He and his
work of foul greenskins and goblins.
They also
hilarious. You're telling me
to take upon themselves encounter a giant worm from the depths of the ocean.
A giant worm.
I'm surprised we found him at all in any condition.
Yeah, well, you are in the right place for your tall tales. Well, I'm gonna need a little space, unless you guys need something else.
Our bad friend over here is searching for some magical objects. We are searching for a gentleman by the name of Shroud.
Oh,
Perhaps you happen to have
okay.
heard of this individual? No?
What do you guys need from him?
Well,
Uh,
I'm gonna-
for this, I would motion to Luther. I'm not sure if he knows exactly the nature of what he's looking for or not.
just magical artifacts.
I'm gonna actually go over to Nog and I'm gonna say, hey, I need to borrow this, buddy. And I'm gonna reach in and grab 2 gold coins out of his pouch and hand it over and say, like, I think this is all you need to know about what we need for her. Is that fair enough?
He takes the 2 pieces, kind of like looks at them, pockets them. You didn't hear this from me. He's not the kind of individual you get mixed up with unless you've got a death wish. All I know is he sells the best stuff you can find. I get a few things from him here and then. I always go through the Coiled Cobra. Ask for the matron.
The Coiled Cobra, the matron. I didn't hear that, though, especially not from you. Thank you.
Yeah, what?
Thank you, sir.
No, you did not. And he begins to turn and begins to work on Nog. All right, big guy, lift your arm. He slowly begins to work on his ribs, seeing his eyes been relatively patched. Oh, that's gonna need surgery. As he looks at his face, and I'll do some rolls for that at a later time. We'll see if Nog loses an eye or not. In addition to many other things. But you guys have a heading, should you wish to venture in that direction.
I don't think we have much of a choice.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Luther.
Luther was not allowed in the temple because he looked too poor. I have to just try the Coiled
It's a
Cobra.
It's a travesty, I tell you. It's my noble blood just shat on by these lowly peasants.
Unless you think it is worth a coin to do you up in expensive trappings and accoutrements.
Perhaps Henry should speak with his new armor.
Wolfram, perhaps, this is a shaky place. Perhaps you could do the talking in here. A ruffian is like yourself.
I don't understand where this reputation comes from, but fair enough. Let's find this Coiled Cobra and see what we can do.
I'm sure you know where it's
That
at.
will make you smile. You were so nervous, Luther. It concerns me about your health.
Sweating a little bit, looking every once in a while. He looks around, waiting for an attack to take place. Likewise, Wolfram's probably doing the same. Every here and there.
I'm so terrified right now. I'm trying to be a great soldier, bro.
Henry and I are just
Ironically-
looking at each other like,
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with these people?
Ironically, Wolfram, you do know where the Coiled Cobra is. I'm not sure if you've been inside or not, but you at least have passed by at a minimum. It is a den of pleasure and sin, and it is located deeper into the city, towards the seawall. Not in the markets, like where the actual large market is, but kind of on the fringe of the market. It is a large 3-story structure, well built, surprisingly, for what you have seen at the state of some of the buildings, especially in the docks and some of the abandoned warehouses and things you passed by. But there are no guards out front. There are what appear to be yellow linen like shades draped over the windows. It is well lit from the inside. The smell of incense, perfume, the laughter of women. The smell of stout alcohol and various other smokes billowing out of all of its cracks and crevices. Many fine young men and not so young men moving in and out of its doors. A few women as well. As you approach Wolfram, not sure how this affects you, but it is an open doorway. It looks like there are a set of double doors that can be closed, but as this is the night, they are wide open, and it is ready for business.
Well, listen, this is the place. Unless you gentlemen, we could take some time off, enjoy the wares of the facility. It's been a long journey out in the desert. Or we could just get right to the point. It seems like such a waste to come all the way out here. It's like,
I don't know, Luther. We might not need much time for Wolfram. Zing! Cha-cha-cha. Continue.
He fires that shot rather quickly.
I'm hurt. As a player, I'm hurt. Ouch.
Come with a fast shot.
A grievous wound. Yes, I'm sure. Please, Wolfram, I'm begging you. The things she'll do to me. You understand.
But what about the things that she could do to me? That's why I want to take the time.
You fool! You think you want this? That's not a good thing. Wolfram, Luther's hair starts to wave a little bit. His eyes start to get a little bit redder. You don't understand the forces you're messing with, Wolfram Kessler.
Wolfram is gonna...
And not just you, but your very soul itself. Please.
Okay.
They calm down.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Lucian and give him like a smile and kind of a knowing look, like, he knows something about Luther now. Let's just go inside this. We won't waste our time with the women.
Thank you.
I guess we go inside, go up the entryway, or go into the entryway.
As you approach, Henry, there is a post where horses have already been tied up. You don't see any nightly horses tied up, but there are several posts for you to tie your horse to.
Park him. Give him a park.
Yeah, you give him a park. You lay it down.
Ballet.
They tie it up. Give him a little. Give him a little feed. A little something.
Yeah, rub his shoulder.
Sugar cube. Yeah.
There is, in fact, a water trough right below it as well. This is a nice, this is a respectable place,
This
of course.
is a nice place.
It's a respectable place, indeed. The rest of the neighborhood looks like you could get stabbed in an alley at any moment, but this place looks really nice. But as the four of you begin to walk in, your senses are immediately bombarded by the thick, just atmosphere, the collection of the incense, the smoke, the perfume, all of it coalescing together stings the eyes a little bit. Everything looks dim in here, despite there being several well-lit lanterns and even a massive a large a fire pit kind of in the center of this central room. And as you enter, it is quite large. It's quite tall in here. The full 3 stories, you can go up and look at the ceiling. The ceiling, there is a beautiful mural painting on the ceiling of what you imagine the city of Chic looks like from one of the nearby mountain ranges or some such. With ships, it's very detailed, beautiful painting. There is the equivalent of almost like side rooms that have curtains drawn across them, more of an open style here on the ground floor. There is a stone staircase that kind of just juts out of the wall that leads up to a second floor, and then likewise another that leads up to a third. And you see more private rooms, actual doors with latches on the second and third floor. there appear to be several gentlemen behind what you imagine a bar to look like in this setting. They appear to be Arabian in nature, shaking some drinks, pouring some wine, doing their thing. There are several women walking around. Most of the women are extremely scantily clad, which I should say, even just walking around the city during the day, the women of Araby are not very shy when it comes to exposing skin. It's not very uncommon to see exposed bellies and lower backs. Would be just a hoopla in the Empire or anywhere else in the world. It would be, the sin, the depravity. But you see much more interesting things here. Something you might see on like a beach in California. Some crazy things, we'll say. But as you enter in, a woman that is wearing nothing but tassels and some kind of string covering some of her naughty bits, with a veil running across her nose and draped over her face, walks up specifically to Henry and puts an arm around his shoulder. What can I get you? Perhaps don't be shy.
I'm just here to see the matron.
Oh, you are quite lovely. I give you discount.
That's okay. Poor.
I don't see it, surely. Maybe freebie.
No, as I grab her hand and I'll tell you what though, that man there, as I point to Wolfram, that's the man you need.
She looks towards Wolfram. Looks back towards Henry.
Damn it, my attractiveness.
So attractive, one might say.
I'm the least
Such a
appealing
curse.
person.
It's a curse. Do you by chance know where the matron is?
The madame.
I'm sure.
You're looking for Narcissa?
I believe so. I'm not. My friends here are. I'm just looking for someone to get a drink.
She's about to be with a client, but perhaps I will tell you where she is for a kiss.
Sure, as I put my cheek out.
Oh, she grabs you
I
by the face.
reached out and I pulled
begins
it
to-
around, so
She turns your face towards hers.
Yes.
And a long, slobbery kiss
I
is
say, is it
placed
good?
upon young Henry, who's just shocked in the system.
We're not in the Empire anymore.
And then, as she pulls away, she says, "Oh, so innocent. The things I would do to you. Well,
The matron, where is she?
you can find her there. She is walking down now. You see a rather tall woman. Unlike most of the people in here, she... Let me find this real fast. Where did I put you? There it is. All right. She is one of the most beautiful creatures you've ever seen.
Oh shit.
She is...
She's also cursed.
She has long...
But she's a vampire.
She has long, dark, black hair that is done up in a kind of like like a bun kind of style, an Arabian kind of style to it. Just lots of jewels and woven into it. Several large necklaces that dangle down between her very open dress between her bosom. She has emerald green eyes that almost glow in the light, in contrast to her dark hair and her extremely pale complexion. As she
Wrong with that?
looks over and sees the four of you, she specifically looks towards your group in particular and takes a moment and just kind of looks. You see that she is wearing very tightly laced thigh-high stockings to go with some heels. In addition to that, she just doesn't look like she belongs. She doesn't look like an Arabian woman. But she kind of just looks and smirks for a moment. Luscious red pouty lips. And strokes like one of the necklaces, one of the charms on one of the necklaces she has for a moment before turning to one of the gentlemen behind the bar and whispering something to them. Would one of you or all of you like to approach her?
Luther, that's the woman. You need to go. I will go with you if you're scared, but you need to go and talk to her.
I'm intimidated.
I've seen how you are with your mistress. I know you were.
She reminds me of her too much. I can't approach her. Wolfram, you must do this, Wolfram. You must do this.
If you think she will talk to a backwoodsman like me, fine.
Of course, you share in her depraved nature. I will. Take Lucien.
I have your back.
Lucien, you are one of a cleaner variety than me. Perhaps you should come with me, so that
I would recommend Henry, but he's preoccupied, as several other women have now gathered around Henry, kind of like playing with his hair. There's like 30 of them.
Henry has noticed.
Henry's like, he's like, get off me, get off me.
I'm up on my feet and I'm headed towards her.
Okay.
Not in an aggressive way, kind of strolling over there, but
you begin to walk towards her.
Yeah.
Her eyes meet yours, Wolfram. There's almost like an intensity about her as you approach.
Mm-hmm.
Lucien, you're approaching as well?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get closer, Luther doesn't get to go because he wasn't here. So Wolfram, as you get closer, that is far enough. What can I do for you, fine gentleman? She has a Bretonian accent, I might add.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut and see what Lucien does before I open my mouth.
Good evening, madame. It's a very lovely establishment you have here.
Thank you. This is quite interesting. I do not often get to speak with a man of the superior race.
Enchanté, I'm sure.
Well, what is you seeking? You do not seem like the type looking for a tussle.
May we beg a boon of information from you, madame?
Oh, I know many things. If you wish to speak in private, it better be worth my while. I have a client waiting.
Lucien, how much gold do we have on it? Do we leave it all with Nog, or?
My personal contents are like 22 silver.
Okay. We will do our best to make it worth your while, and I will at least reach down and point.
She looks towards the two of you. It's just the two of you will not be enough. Bring the others as well.
I'm going to head over to the table and I'm going to grab both Henry and Luther. Boys,
I'm gonna pile them in.
So excited.
I will also point out that in addition to Henry being swarmed, Luther is also being swarmed because he's also a very attractive man. Because there are women just like touching their faces and kind of like pulling at their clothes.
Damn it, Winch!
Get up, Winches!
Can't you see?
Oh, and several of the other men are looking pissed off, just looking at the two of you.
So I'm gonna really lean into Luther, kind of really try to pull him up, We have to go and talk now. Stop flirting with these wenches. Come on. Henry, you wouldn't even know what to do over there. Come on. She wishes to speak with you too.
Another time, ladies.
Rouse them up so we can go.
Yeah.
As the four of you now begin to gather, an individual pops his head over the second story, kind of like banister, the balcony area. He says, Cecilia, what is the problem? Luther, as you look up and you see a man wearing very interesting robes, wielding a staff and a headdress that you've seen before. This may in fact be the the Caliph, Aram Hoda of the Cult of Jinns, who's just up there. He's like the head priest of the Cult of Jinns. Come on, I do not have much. You, as he points a staff down towards you.
Your Excellency.
She looks up. She says, "Now. There will be none of that." He looks like he's about to spout a curse. She says, "Aram, I will be with you in a moment. Go wait for me." And he just kind of like slowly backs away from the banister, just staring daggers at Luther.
Oh.
You will pay for this. You hear him whisper as he walks away.
Damn it! Damn!
He is harmless. Not really. He could flay you alive if he wished. But surely you have more important matters to deal with. As she ushers you into one of the side rooms that she opens up, there is a free, it's like a large table set into the ground. There are essentially seating areas, kind of like a booth. As she ushers you all in, it is dimly lit in here by several candles on the table. She pulls the curtain closed as she ushers you all to have seats. As the four of you sit down, she sits cross-legged with her back to the curtains, with the rest of you sitting in the booth. So, you wish to ply my other trade? What do you have in exchange?
Unfortunately, madam, I don't have much. I can offer my services as a street magician. I can do parlor tricks here and there, perhaps.
Luther, give me a perception roll using your magic skills.
All right.
You can just make a magical roll, whatever your magic roll is. That'd be fine.
Good. That's not good.
What'd you get?
Let me reroll.
Yeah. Use a fortune point.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, how many degrees of success are we looking at?
So my lore magic, if I'm just kind of like looking at, that would be 6 under 54. So
yeah, that's
4 levels of success.
Yeah, 4 levels of success. Yeah. Easily, Luther. You sense something, specifically in her eyes. You all of a sudden, you sense a kinship, almost. A darkness that you may, in fact, have taken into yourself at some point. And you see that there is, underneath the surface, buried deep and hidden quite well, there is a dark force dwelling within this woman. That's about as much as you'll get.
Yeah, that's fine.
But she does not. She doesn't seem like a normal person.
Yeah. we have become quite the troop of adventurers, mercenaries, perhaps. I don't like to use that word. It's crass. But we get things done. Is there a task you would like us to do? We could
She tilts her head.
retrieve.
Yeah, she tilts her head. I know who you are. I know who it is you work for. You work for the Magister, no? You
Yes,
are all in some expedition, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madame.
You see, I value my network as it is. And I do not have any ears within the expedition. Perhaps we do a trade. I give you access to the man you seek, as she looks towards all of you. And nobody ever mentioned anything about a man. Somehow she knows something. I give you access. You do one small favor for me. And perhaps every now and then, you let me know what is the expedition up to.
Oh. Really
I
got
will
me
not
over
be a
there.
spy.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
No,
spy,
nothing
such
of-
a harsh
nothing of the
word.
sort. Nothing of the sort.
Sharing
She looks towards Henry.
Do I find her attractive?
You find her extremely attractive.
Ooh, does she find me attractive?
Her eyes
you don't
lock.
know.
Her eyes lock onto yours, Henry. And as she stares deeply into your eyes, I need you to make a cool test, Henry.
Cool test. It was those damn thigh-high boots.
Don't look directly into them, Henry.
I failed!
Failed miserably. Henry, you are captivated.
Oh,
For a moment, you just kind of look at her and you forget what you were doing for a second. You just kind of stare at her and she smiles. And any
not bad.
reservations you might have had at perhaps anything that made you uneasy in this moment is washed away.
oh. I like this place. Feel easy. Feel at home.
If these objects are
Yes.
useful to our expedition, I see no problem with exchanging value for value.
Good, good. The only thing I require is I've got a bit of a thorn in my side. Call him ex-boyfriend. I need you to deal with. Discreetly.
Done.
Well,
Oh, well.
are we talking about
Discreetly
nerds?
is a loud bang.
Discreetly as in I don't want it connected to me.
Oh. Just rough them up a little. We have an ogre at our service.
I'm thinking something a little more permanent.
Oh.
And I'm
Just point us
thinking,
where the
as she looks specifically towards Luther, you are just the man for the job.
Oh no.
oh no, poor Luther.
Luther takes a big gulp. I see. This one reminds him of his mistress. Of course, I'd be happy to help in any way possible. This is just for my own personal, well-being. A question. Is he a bad man? As he,
Extremely.
that'll make it easier. Does he have friends?
Quite a few.
Of course. Very well. We will do what we can. Will please leave the name of this man. If you wouldn't happen to speak to the proprietor, the master of the Temple of the Jinn, just tell him I deeply apologize if I offended him with my attire. Yes, of course. I do not usually dress in such a manner. Fortunately,
Don't mention anything of it. He won't remember you being here.
Thank you so much. We will not bother you anymore. I can tell you are a very powerful and busy woman. If you would just like to give us some information on where possibly we could find this man. His name?
My associate will show you the way. She snaps her fingers. There's a man. There's a man standing right next to whoever's on the edge of the bed sheets. Say it's Wolfram. There's a man there instantly. He's a little over 6 feet tall, cloaked, completely shrouded. There appears to be a massive rifle slung across his back, Wolfram. Something heavy, something old, and it looks oddly dwarven. There is a mask that resembles a skull that you see underneath a hood, obscuring his features. He doesn't speak. He just kind of looks down, nods, and then opens up the curtains and begins to walk. I suggest
I
you
get
follow.
up and I started following.
He's not a man
Oh,
of many
sorry.
words.
I can see that. Good day, madam.
Lean
Careful.
back over my shoulder to Lucian. Look at the size of that thing.
There's been a lot of deaths in the nearby area. If you come across Isaac, which you should. Yes, Isaac. This is the man you seek. His name is Isaac. Oh, shit, where is it? Fuck, I lost it! No! This always happens. Fuck. Hold, please. Isaac Volgran. He was a Kislavite man. Came off a ship a few months back. More than a few. It's time is a blur. But he has had an unfortunate accident and has been stalking me for quite some time and making trouble for my patrons. And I would rather have this dealt with. Of course, my associate could do the deed, but why have him do it when I can have you? She just smiles, stands
Smile
up,
back.
walks past all of you, drapes a fingernail that's almost like there's a talon-like curve at the end of the nail that she digs in to Henry's cheek. His blood begins to slowly drip out of it. And Henry doesn't move. He's just kind of smiling. And she licks it. Yes. She looks towards the rest of you. May we meet again. And she turns and walks away.
Au revoir.
You see her shrouded associate walking out the doors.
That was pleasant.
Like, come along, Henry. And I
Where are we going?
Follow this strapping large man right here.
Is this my blood?
Yes. Come along.
Did someone try to punch me?
No, just follow the large man, please.
Okay.
The four of you scrambling through the crowd. Henry and Luther having to push wenches left and right off of you. Your attractive face is working against you. Damn! Lucian and Wolfram easily passing through the crowd, making it to the end.
No hard feelings here.
Henry and I, before we leave the door, before we leave this establishment, we turn around, give him a dose of blue steel.
Oh my god. Of course you do. You do not do that, I'm sure.
Oh!
Maybe you do, I don't know.
Not your bra.
God.
When we leave, there's a loud like, "Aww."
That's Henry. That's Henry. He's so hot right now.
So hot right now.
Yeah.
So the four of you make it outside. You see the associate of the Madame has made a right, and he's walking down the middle of the street. All of you begin to fall in line behind him, scrambling to keep up with him. Despite him walking, he appears to be eerily quick. Most of you are having to get to a jog to keep up with him.
We're jogging now?
Yeah, Luther's oh shit! It gets some exercise in. As you guys go down the street and make a bit of a maze of streets until he stops in front of a dilapidated, rundown, seemingly abandoned. It looks like possibly at one point maybe this was a restaurant, maybe some kind of warehouse setting. It's hard to tell with how in tatters most of this building is. As you look upon it, some of the rotten wood falling to the side, the adobe like style of walls that were built up, some of them have crumbled away, revealing some of the more sturdier stone used underneath and some of the wooden elements. There is a door that is slightly ajar. The man, his arm pulls out of his cloak. As it does, you see the handle of a strange blade that is sheathed at his hip. By strange, I mean it's not one any of you have seen before. It looks oddly made. Has a strange guard on it as well. It appears to be completely black, with bits of purple kind of woven into the handle. The handle is also done in a strange ornate fashion that is not distinguished of the Empire or any of the nearby artisans that you guys have come across. This is something more than likely from some far-off land. And he points towards the door. His hand quickly moves back into the cloak, and he turns and begins to leave.
What a strange man.
We just take orders and directions from a strange man, and he just left us.
We did, Henry. The woman we were talking to, the rest of you aren't blessed with certain abilities that I have, but I will let you know that woman was incredibly powerful. Seemed to me that she was doing a great deal of trying to hide her magical power.
Oh, you mean magical powerfulness? I thought you just meant just powerful in general.
I don't know. Probably both. But she had such a vast amount of it. It seemed that she was having trouble keeping it contained. I do not think we should get on her bad side. She perhaps could be more powerful than my... Don't ever tell her I said this. Perhaps more powerful than my mistress. And apparently
Should be good for the expedition then.
Gentlemen,
Yes, Wolfram?
forgive me, sir, but as fascinating as your dialogue is, I believe we were brought here to kill a man.
Excuse
perhaps
me?
we should.
Yes, Henry, you agreed very quickly.
Just get ready to swing your sword.
This is a bad
Lucian
man.
And she said he was very bad. I did ask, and apparently also Henry, just so you know, he has friends. So we're probably walking into some sort of trap, perhaps, a base. Just know I'll be right behind you, Henry, as you lead the charge. And kind of gets behind him and slaps him on the shoulder. You're a knight, after all.
It's true.
Yes, but I don't kill innocents.
They said he was bad. What more do you want?
He's in this building.
He's not a Sig, right? I mean, I assume that is a plus for you.
You don't know that.
Come on, you know, slaps the father back again.
Mm-hmm.
Try the door. Is there a door?
There's a door. It is ajar.
All right.
It goes, and it creaks loudly as you press your hand, and it begins to slide open. The very dim lighting from a nearby lantern from a great distance away gives you just a minuscule perception into this building.
I cannot see.
You guys do have adventure gear if you'd like to light a torch or anything like that.
Luther will light a fire in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step away from being close to Luther.
Yep.
Not too close. And make sure we have our safe distance.
What is it? What do we see? What does the room look like?
Okay. As Luther illuminates are you guys stepping inside, or are you going to just sit outside and try it? Okay.
Yeah, I go in with a shield up and a sword in the other hand.
Shield, sword.
I'm behind him. Yeah.
As Henry, you breach the door, Lucian and Wolfram falling in behind you. The first thing you notice is that this room is dilapidated. There are chairs and tables. It looks like maybe this was in fact a restaurant at some point, but fallen long into disuse. Most of them are broken and shattered, just like debris all along the floor. There's a handful of them in somewhat decent shape, mostly towards the edges of the room. But there are sounds and noises. You hear squeaking noises as you see rats scurrying in and out. Not like giganto rats like you've seen before, but regular rats.
Luther, watch out!
Say it again. Wolfram,
Regular rats, kind of scurrying here to and fro. There's a terrible smell wafting from somewhere in the building. You see that it looks like there is a path that has been somewhat cleared out towards the back of the room that leads to what you assume to be the kitchen. There is no door. It's just been it looks like it's just shattered and splintered. Who knows where it is exactly. But the hinges, you see splintered old wood. In the distance, you have to cross the room to see any further.
Well, be alert, everyone. We're going straight.
Well,
towards the kitchen.
Go ahead and have everyone give me perception checks at this point.
Damn it.
Okay.
I mean, you knew it was coming. Now, are you guys
slide by?
Are you guys going to try to do stealth checks? Or are you just moving in?
I have severe penalties to stealth checks.
I think we're probably just moving in.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a fire on my hand.
Give me the perception checks.
All right.
Failed.
Ooh, I did really good.
99 for Wolfram. Fantastic.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Luther did quite well. I think all of you failed. Well, Lucian, how was that a critical success?
No, that's a critical fail.
Oh, no.
I have it's out of 42. I thought I
you missed it by 2. Okay. So everyone failed except for Luther. As you're moving across the room, the floor creaks and groans as if it's not like you're walking on solid rock, as if perhaps there might be a pantry or a basement area to this building. As you walk across slowly but surely, Luther holding his fiery hand next to Henry's head. You move towards the entrance of the kitchen. As you make it there, Henry, you hear strange noises echoing from somewhere. The kitchen door has, in fact, looks like someone just beat the shit out of it. It's just laying in pieces next to you. You look around into what at one point might have been a large kitchen. Whatever food may have been prepped here has long since spoiled and been picked over. There is the smell of something rotting just wafting from this area. As you walk in, there is an offshoot to the right. It's a large kitchen. And as you walk into the room to the right, it looks like there is another door that is closed. The kitchen itself, you see old stains, black, red. There is brown smears across some of the walls. There is a hole in the ceiling, a rather large hole that leads up somewhere. You're not sure what's upstairs. But as you look around, you hear these noises. Luther hears a more distinguished noise than the rest of you, as the rest of you just kind of hear like strange noises. Luther, you hear something, and something about it just sends a chill down your spine. But you're not sure why. There is a door. It appears the noises are coming from behind the door.
This was the door to the right?
Yeah, so as you moved in, you kind of turned a corner, and off to the right there was a door. It is intact. It looks just as dilapidated as the rest of the building, but it's not broken.
Should we go in fast and loud? Just ram it open? Or do you have some type of magic you want to do?
I have been practicing on a certain spell, that
Oh my god.
I have been meaning to try out, but it might not be appropriate at this time. Is the door locked?
I heard noises on the other side of it. I didn't know what we should do next.
Is it a push door or does it have a latch on it?
There appears that at one point there was some kind of latch on this side of the door that has either been removed or broken off at some point.
I feel like if we try to open it, the jig is up.
Yes, probably your way is best, Henry. Probably charge in. You, Wolfram, and Lucian, heroically, and I will follow.
All right. On 3.
Yes, for Sigma and everything.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between trying to charge through the door or like kicking it open?
I would
If I run
love to
through
do
it, like shield out.
I
and
would
bless
I
it
would
open?
love for you to do either or. I don't care. You tell me what you want to do.
Oh god, I don't like that. I changed my mind.
No, don't change your mind. Are you just running at it with the shield?
Ah.
I feel
Do
like
it.
that's,
I can't wait
I
to do
feel
it.
like that's what you're doing. Don't be a coward.
I feel like that's what Henry would do. He doesn't cower.
No, we're gonna
Need,
test.
need, bro.
I have a
This
fate
child
point.
behind the
Night
door.
now.
Hey, you got a fate point. You're fine.
I got a fate point.
Newly
You
nice.
run, Henry. You smash the door open. As you smash the door open, it literally just like splinters underneath the blow of your shield. No roll needed. It wasn't very well held together at this point. It shatters outwards. As it does, Henry, you realize, oh shit. This is a fucking staircase, and I need you to give me an athletics check to not fall to the bottom.
Oh no.
Like it's the staircase down?
Yes.
Yes.
I was assuming that it was just like an empty pit.
Oh no. More spikes.
Spikes. Yes,
not the
tiger trap.
spikes.
Tiger trap.
The sand sneakers again.
Fail.
98.
Oh,
Big fail.
shit.
As
Reroll
Henry
that, reroll that, yo.
explodes the door. It shatters into nothing.
Oh
He
shit!
goes, for Sigma, ah! And it just begins to his armor rattling as he falls all the way down these steps.
How many flights?
It's a single flight of steps downwards. But
I was gonna say it probably
as
hits a
he's
wall or
tumbling,
something.
as he's tumbling,
Love it.
suddenly
Hit the wall, go back down
you
to
go
the
into free
Spiral
Henry,
staircase, just like
Yeah.
suddenly Henry goes into free fall as the last probably 15 or so steps he hits
Ooh.
and the wood gives and he just goes through
Oh,
all of
no.
them. His body just smashes them to pieces as he and then he just hits the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the damage for you.
oh my gosh,
As
Oh no.
you've equivalently fell 15 feet.
I'm
Jesus!
sure he's
Holy
fine.
shit. You're going to take 10 points of damage. You can reduce
Ooh.
this by your toughness and armor.
Ah, hey, he's tank.
Your highest point of armor.
So
I got the
10,
damage.
7.
What
Okay.
was it? Like 3 wounds for
4.
you?
It's 4 wounds.
Woohoo! Shit. That hurts.
What I thought.
Oops.
As Henry hits. Oh, shit! As you're just kind of like saying there.
Damn.
You hear for a split second, so Luther is the only one successful on his perception check originally. There's light cascaded as Luther's like, oh, Henry! As you feel like light cascading over the top of you, illuminating some of the area you're in. You feel damp, moist dirt against your face, Henry, as you kind of pull it up groggily. I'm taking a bit of a blow to the head. You hear for a moment these crunching and slurping noises.
Oh my.
As you pull up and you look around, and suddenly you hear, as you look around, and all you see are several sets of red eyes. Well, actually, no, they'd be yellow. Of yellow eyes in the darkness. As they all kind of like lock on you. You kind of look around. You see somewhere around 8, 9 pairs of eyes. And then you hear this torrential as something lunges out of the darkness towards you. And that's where we're going to take our first break.